Well, hello, happy May 2nd. Yesterday was the 2023 Met Gala, and today we're going to be talking about all of the looks. I love the idea of the Met Gala, like all these celebrities coming together and all dressing in like the same theme. I think it's beautiful. That being said, the theme was Karl Lagerfeld, a line of beauty. And while he made some very nice advancements in fashion, he was also fatphobic, he was homophobic, he was against the hashtag Me Too movement, so definitely a lot to critique him on. So I'm not really going to be talking a lot about Karl in this video, and mostly just about the looks. I have my notebook, I have my laptop, so let's get right into these looks. Lala Anthony wore a white gown designed by Sergio Hudson, and honestly, I thought she looked very good. I really liked the hair, and I was excited to see that like a lot of women on the red carpet rocked a more voluminous hairstyle. As a host, I feel like it wouldn't be fair to critique her fashion that harshly because these people have to stand there for hours and interview people. You don't want to do something too extreme. And then the other two hosts were Chloe Fineman and Derek Blasberg. She wore a pink dress and then he wore a black suit, and they were a team on the carpet. Emma Chamberlain was a special correspondent, and she did a couple of interviews for the live stream, but I'm pretty sure her main job was to do interviews for the YouTube channel. Honestly, she's such a good interviewer. Like, I feel like out of all the hosts, she has the most chemistry with everyone. And she wore a blue two-piece designed by Miu Miu, and she wore a mesh layer underneath. And I feel like she's been getting kind of a little bit of hate online for this outfit, but I really don't hate it that much. Like, I don't know if I appreciate the mid-calf length white socks because they kind of scream like PE in high school, but I would say that's the only part where I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about it. I feel like everything else fits together well. I watched the entire live stream yesterday. I actually dressed up, so I had my hair slicked back in a braided ponytail, and I wore a black dress with some pearls, and I figured for today I could kind of create like an after party look. So I'm wearing this black corset with this white button down, the pearls of course, and then a slick back bun. This look is definitely inspired by all the looks that I saw at the Met Gala yesterday, because I feel like the white shirt, you know, white and black, and then of course Chanel pearls, except these are not Chanel. But that being said, the first person I saw in the live stream was Nicole Kidman. They really started off with a bang because she wore this dress in the Chanel No. 5 commercial that she did with Karl. And I think that's so cool because, again, it's sustainable to reuse the dress, and I'm pretty sure it is the same dress. It's not a recreation. And of course, it's absolutely stunning. Like, I love the way that it moves. It's just so beautiful. She did wear black heels with this dress, and the dress is pale pink, so I think a nice touch would have been black tights, just because I feel like the contrast is a little much, but again, it's not really a big deal. Then, of course, Ice Spice. It was actually her first Met Gala, which, yay for her. I really loved the hair. I liked the part a lot. A theme of this video is going to be that I love when celebrities try something new with their hair, because I feel like hair and makeup are just as important as the actual outfit. When she was getting interviewed by Lala Anthony, she did say that this outfit was last minute, so that does make a little sense, because when I saw it, the first thing I thought was like, I wish she had done a little more. I thought the accessory of a camera was cute, especially since her outfit was so plain. Her dress was designed by Balmain, and honestly, for her first Met Gala and it being last minute, I don't really have bad things to say about it. Like, she pulled it together with what she had. Gisele wore vintage Chanel, and she said that she believed it was from 2006 or 2007, and I think she looked very good. The cape is honestly my favorite part. I think without the cape, the dress would be a little bit too plain for my taste, but with the extravagant cape, I think it kind of pulls the look together. I do like the bag and the earrings as accessories. I think they're very pretty, and her hair is plain, but again, I feel like with a complex hairstyle and this like dramatic cape, it might have been too much, so I think for her it works. Keke Palmer wore a Sergio Hudson dress, and I think she looked so good. The volume in her hair is just, it's perfect. I've never seen her hair like this, so when I saw her, I was like, Keke, is that you? Like, you look so good. The smoky eye really throws it together, and the dress is just stunning. And I do like the train. The train kind of looks like a comforter, and that's honestly the only part where I'm like, that's not like absolutely perfect. I think I would have liked a different train, but again, she did look good. And then of course, Dua Lipa, who wore 1992 vintage Chanel. This dress, I think, was made for her. I hadn't really looked at Dua Lipa as fashion inspo or being like really a fashion icon. I don't know, she's just never caught my eye. But after this, I'm like, I might have to go back and look at some of her street style and see what I think, because this honestly really impressed me. She's also wearing a, I believe, $10 million Tiffany necklace that has never been seen before. And sometimes when I see a big necklace, I'm like, it takes away from the dress, but I think it actually fits perfectly with this one. She really just looks like a princess, and I really like obviously the tweed and the fringe at the bottom of the dress. And I saw some people online talking about her hair and it being too simple, but honestly, I feel like with the dress and the necklace, it kind of works. I think an updo would have been cute too, but I feel like I'm not gonna dock her points for her hair because it just kind of fits. Carlie Kloss was interviewed by Emma Chamberlain, where she revealed that she's actually pregnant. So congratulations to her. Her dress was designed by Lowe's Jonathan Anderson. And you know what? It's not like a showstopper, but it is good. Honestly, I feel like at its center, it is just really like a black dress with accessories. So like, it doesn't look bad on her, but it's not really iconic. The first time that I saw Amanda Seyfried on the carpet, I was like, that's just Fearless Taylor. Like, that's honestly the hair, because I saw her from the back the first time and I was like, oh my gosh. She's wearing an Oscar de la Renta dress and she looks good. I think the dress is absolutely stunning. Like, yes, it's not the most extravagant thing ever, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. And like, it literally looks like she's wearing the bold glamour filter on TikTok. Like, her makeup is so beautiful and her hair, stunning. I love volume. I love the curls. It's just, it's gorgeous. I really wouldn't have suspected that Amanda Seyfried would be the one that I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. Because honestly, I've never really seen her as a fashion icon, but good for her. Next, we have Michaela Coel, who wore this beautiful dress that had 130,000 crystals attached to it. I mean, when you look at it, you just have to like take a minute because it's so beautiful. I think the colors are gorgeous, and I'm actually kind of surprised because she did mix silver with gold and it looks beautiful. Yeah, I mean, I really don't have much to say. I saw this and I was like, wow. One of the only men that I'm going to be talking about is Tommy Hilfiger, only because I felt like his explanation of his outfit was kind of sweet. The shirt that he actually wore to the 2023 Met Gala was Karl's shirt that Karl gave him, and I think that's kind of beautiful. He also wore Chanel fabric, and I think his outfit was fine. The only reason that stuck out to me was because of the shirt. And then we have Sydney Sweeney, which I've seen definitely opposite ends of the spectrum opinions on this look. On one hand, I do understand when people are like, the bows are too much, like the bow in her hair and the bow on her dress, but I also like the rest of it a lot. I think her hair and makeup are perfect, and honestly, I don't think that the bow in her hair is too much. I actually really like it. The bow on her dress though, I don't know, like, it definitely contrasts with the dress, like we talked about with the Nicole Kidman look. And I don't know if that's just something that I personally don't like, but that would be the only thing where I'm like, I don't really know how I feel about it. Like, I do appreciate that she wore a black bow in her hair, so it does match. But yeah, honestly, the only thing I'd say is I don't know how I feel about the bow. Her dress was designed by Miu Miu, and I think honestly, overall, it's a pretty good look. Margot Robbie wore a 1993 Cindy Crawford dress. I'm not sure if she wore the actual dress or if she had it remade. I think the dress is beautiful. My problem is with the glam and the hair. Like, again, this is just like a black dress, so I feel like there could have been a little bit more done with her hair and her makeup. Of course, the look is Chanel because it has to be. Now, Elle Fanning. When I first saw her, I was a little confused. I definitely didn't expect it from her. But again, she also has a heartfelt story about Karl and how it relates to him. So basically, when she was 13, she met him for the first time, and I believe it was like an audition or a show or something, and she was wearing her own dress. And then he put a flower crown on her, and that's kind of why she's wearing a flower crown in this outfit. Honestly, you should probably just Google her explaining the story, because I feel like I kind of butchered it, but it's kind of the general idea. She also carried around flowers the whole night, which I like accessories, so I'm not gonna say anything about it. Obviously, it is very reminiscent of a flower girl, but I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, especially with the backstory and the fact that it is on theme. Her dress is Vivienne Westwood, and she's wearing a 1955 necklace. I want to briefly touch on Lily Collins. I believe Vera Wang was wearing a very similar outfit where they were wearing like beautiful dresses, and then at the end of their train, it just said Karl. I guess it's on theme technically, but it just looked kind of like an art project to me. Like maybe you could have done embroidery or something, but it honestly just looks like they ironed on letters. And that doesn't really scream the Met Gala. That being said, I did like Lily Collins' glam and hair. And then there was Doja Cat, and she was our first of 3 cats for the night. And spoiler, she is my favorite cat of the night. I think she looks the best. I think she still looks very glam while dressing like a cat, which again, that can be very hard. She wore cat prosthetics, and then when she was actually getting interviewed by Emma Chamberlain, she just meowed, which I thought was kind of fun that she was, you know, sticking to the theme. It's actually her very first Met, and I feel like with a lot of celebrities' first Mets, they like to keep it simple. They don't want to stir the waters too much, but she did exactly that, and I didn't expect anything less. It, of course, is a nod to Karl's cat, who I believe is named Coupette, and yeah, she looks stunning. The fact that the headpiece is attached to the dress and the train and the tattoos peeking out and then like the backless look, it's all beautiful. And then we've got Anne Hathaway, which I love Anne Hathaway. I honestly feel like she's a pretty genuine celebrity, and she looked the part this night. I loved the hair, and again, I'm not saying this to be mean, but the first thing I thought of was the bride mouse or rodent in Zootopia. Her dress is tweed, and it actually has like safety pins, and I really like the gloves as well. The necklace actually reminded me of Vivienne Westwood, but I do believe she said that her whole look was like Chanel x Versace. She also had, I believe, a hairpiece that was vintage Chanel, so I thought that was also very cool. I'm gonna be honest, I really do feel like she's pretty high up there with one of my favorite looks. And now, of course, we have the Kardashian Jenners, and actually Kourtney, Khloe, and Kris did not attend, so I'm assuming they were not invited, which is kind of a bummer because I do like to see them all together. But to start off, we have Kim K, who was wearing a dress basically made of pearls. She had a corset on, and then also a train, but they were all slightly different shades of off-white. And I feel like it could have been nice if the shades were all the same. That being said, I don't think it's a huge deal. I actually do really like this look. But one thing I was surprised by was the fact that she was wearing a messy bun to the Met Gala, especially after how seriously she took it last year. Like, this just seemed like she was really taking a step back, which she did say when she was being interviewed, that she was just here to like have fun. And I do like that. But yeah, I guess I was just a little surprised. And then we have Kylie, who, when I first saw her look, I was a little underwhelmed. She was wearing like a robe cover up, but then when she revealed the actual dress, it is very beautiful. Her outfit is red and blue, so she did match the carpet. I'm not sure if that was intentional, if she knew that the carpet was gonna be red and blue, but she did match. The dress was Haider Ackermann for Jean Paul Gaultier. I've seen a lot of people say that they don't think this is on theme, and I did agree with them until I found out that the coat is actually 1999 Andre Leon, designed by Karl. So it is on theme. She also wore a messy bun, and I thought it was interesting that 2 sisters that are kind of like fashion icons both decided to wear messy buns to the Met Gala, but it could be nothing. Her glam was very beautiful, and I liked her pointed toe shoes, and it was nice to see some color because a lot of people wore black and white yesterday. And then the third sister that was invited to the Met Gala is Kendall Jenner. She was designed by Donatella, and she wore this black sparkly bodysuit with a sparkly silver collar and then very long sleeves. I really did like her ponytail. It was a bit simple, but it was beautiful. I don't know how I feel about a bodysuit with no pants on the Met Gala red carpet. Like, I want to say I'm not a huge fan, but I don't know if it's just because like I'm closed-minded to that. Like, I don't know. I feel like if it was maybe a jumpsuit with like shorts, or if it was a short dress or something, I don't know. I feel like I would have liked it more. I really did like the sleeves because I think it's fun when you can get that train effect without actually wearing a train. So I did think that was very cool. And then we have Billie Eilish, who wore an all black like lingerie set with some gloves. I thought it was good. I don't think it's like breathtaking or it stands out too much, but yeah, I think it was good. I think it was beautiful. The second cat of the night was Jared Leto, and he took the cat theme very seriously. He was fully just dressed like a cat. He had a cat costume on. I did appreciate that his eye makeup matched the cat eyes. He usually does make statements at red carpets, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But I don't really know. Like, it is a statement, but I don't know if it's really, you know, a statement about fashion. When I first saw Viola Davis, I was like, no, not the Valentino pink. I never want to see that color ever again in my life. After last year's Met Gala, it was enough. It was enough. We don't need to see it ever again. That being said, once we get past the color, because she said that she wanted to wear color, and again, a lot of people wear black and white, so I can appreciate a pop of color. I liked the feathers and the earrings, and I did like the matching bag. And she actually looked very pretty with pink eye makeup. She looked stunning, and if this dress wasn't pink, I probably would have a lot more positive things to say about it, because honestly, the dress is beautiful. She looks really good in it. It's just the color for me. And then we have Lea Michele, who actually, this is her first time in the Met Gala in 9 years, so that is pretty cool. Bows were all the rage last night, and she wore a sparkly silver dress with a bow at her chest. Her sleeves had fringe on them, which I thought was actually a very nice touch. And it was backless, which I really liked. I actually was very surprised by this, but I really did like Lea Michele's look. I also liked the bangs and the bob. Like, I don't know, just all of it looks really good to me. And then Florence Pugh, who made a very dramatic hair choice, she debuted her buzz cut. I think she looks very good. She's shown us that she can rock all kinds of different hairstyles. Like, I think the looks will be iconic. That being said, she also has a bow at the chest like Lea Michele did, but her bow is a little bit more like Sydney Sweeney's that she had on her dress. I think the dress is very beautiful, and I do see what she was trying to do with the headpiece. I don't know. For me, I think it's just maybe a little too tall. Or maybe if the feathers were more varied, like it wasn't just like all the feathers up here, like if there were feathers all around, maybe I'd like it a little bit more. But I do see the vision. She has a beautiful train, and I think the dress is very beautiful. I can't believe I've loved so many of these looks, because last year I filmed a YouTube video about rating or reviewing Met Gala looks, and I was not that impressed, but I feel like they brought their A game this year. That being said, next we have Christina Ricci, and you know, I'm not like in love with this. It's her first time going to the Met in 10 years, which is very exciting. And she was wearing Fendi. And like, I do understand how that would be on theme, but this dress was from the spring summer 2023 collection at Fendi. So like, I don't know if Karl actually had any influence on this design, because I believe he passed in 2019. The thing that caught my eye was when she was getting interviewed by Lala Anthony. Her dress seemed a little bit ill-fitting in like the shoulders. Just the way that it laid didn't seem like it was like made for her. I do think the shoes are very pretty though. And her hair, I actually also wore a braided ponytail to watch the Met Gala last night, so I thought that our hair matching was kind of cool. Overall, it's not a bad look. I just feel like it could have fit her a little bit better. And then Nicole Peltz-Beckham, and I did not expect to be saying this, but I actually really loved her look. She again wore a bow like Sydney Sweeney and Florence Pugh, but for some reason I think I like the placement better on this one than I did with Sydney Sweeney's, because again, the contrast of white and black is obviously big, but it does look very good. I also love all of her necklaces. I think they're so beautiful and they really tie the look together. When I first saw the dress, I was like, oh, okay, Vivienne Westwood, but no, it's actually Valentino. I am just so happy that it's not pink. But yeah, honestly, it kind of surprised me because I also really liked her after party look. So I don't know, maybe I'm kind of on the Nicole Peltz-Beckham love train. And then Cara Delevingne was, of course, there. This night obviously meant a lot to her because her and Karl were very close. And so she wore a custom piece that he designed for her. I liked the thigh-high boots until I realized that they weren't boots and they were actually strappy heels. I don't know. Honestly, that would be the part that I'm like the most confused about because I don't think like the top half is bad at all. I don't think the outfit is bad. I'm just confused about the bottom half. She said that the white shirt was of course inspired by Karl, and so was actually the color of her hair, which I love a dramatic hair choice, so I am on board with this. I would just say I'm like half into this, half not, just because like it kind of confuses me. And then we have Miss Gigi Hadid, whose dress was designed by Matthew Williams for Givenchy. The dress is all black, but I do appreciate the asymmetry in the neckline and the fact that in the photos her train was posed so that like connected in one line. I did think that was very cool and a nice little detail. I think her hair was very pretty and I did like her makeup. I do think the all black was a similar vibe to Billie, but they both look beautiful in their own way. Her gloves actually only go up to her wrists, which I feel like is kind of different than you usually see at these red carpets. Like usually they're pretty dramatic and long, so I like those a little different. There were some orchids on her dress because those were Karl's favorite flowers, so I thought that was sweet. And overall, yeah, I really liked this look. Continuing on with the all black looks, we have Paris Hilton and Marc Jacobs. I thought the sparkly black top was very beautiful, and when I first saw this, she was getting interviewed by Lala Anthony, and I didn't see the leather train on her dress, so I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but actually the leather train is better than I thought it would be. For her hair, I really wish she would have done extensions. Like if she was gonna do a ponytail, I feel like a big, long, dramatic one it makes more of a statement. I really liked her choker, and obviously it was related to Chanel, so it was on theme. And believe it or not, I was so surprised when I learned this, but this was Paris's first Met Gala. So yeah, for her first look, I think this was really good. Cardi B wore Champagne Studio, and honestly, I think she looked really good. She wore a tie and dress shirt on the top to represent Karl, and then the dress was more dramatic. I really liked her gloves and the headband in her hair. I really liked also the swoop of her hair, the silver, like it was very good. And then we have Jenna Ortega and Thom Browne. When I first saw this, I didn't know how to feel, but I do think I like it. She also did the white shirt for Karl, and there's a lot of pearls in her outfit, obviously for the Chanel. She did wear platform Oxfords, which I thought was an interesting choice, but I do feel like this whole outfit kind of mixes her style with the theme very well. And then the third cat of the night, Lil Nas X. I'm not quite sure who his designer was, but his makeup artist was Pat McGrath. It's definitely an interesting look, but I feel like I shouldn't have expected anything less of Lil Nas X because he's always committing to the bit. And then we have Lizzo, who is wearing Chanel. She has the, of course, iconic Chanel pearls, and I really love her hair like this. That being said, I feel like with Lizzo, I always expect a little bit more of a statement, but you know what? It's elegant, it's classy, so I understand, you know, why she decided to go with this vibe. Janelle Monáe was also in Thom Browne, and she had a transformation outfit. I don't really know how to explain what she's wearing, but I think she looked good. I do like the hair and makeup. And I love, you know, an outfit that can do multiple things. I am curious to see how this relates back to the theme, because obviously with Karl's fatphobic history, like, this could be a play on the fact that he didn't want fat people at his shows. And so she like wore this big outfit, but then again, it could have nothing to do with that and just be like a white and black outfit that kind of relates back to Karl. So yeah, it's definitely a curious look. And then I saw a look from Micaela Diamond, who I hadn't heard of before. And when I tried to look up her designer, I couldn't find who designed her dress, but I honestly I really liked her dress. Like, I don't really care if it was on theme or not. It's kind of unrelated to the video. Like, I just wanted to share it because I thought it was very pretty. And then we have Bad Bunny, who wore a 26-foot train. I'm all for men, like, kind of broadening their horizons instead of just wearing like a black and white suit. So I was very happy to see this. His suit was also backless. So again, really like that. Honestly, he looked really, really good. I'm probably gonna say that he was the best dressed man of the night, I think. So yeah, props to him for this outfit. Rita Ora's dress has a very similar vibe to Billie Eilish and Gigi Hadid, but what makes her stand apart is actually her nails, because her nails were so long and beautiful, and like, I feel like I haven't seen anyone do that before. Her dress was designed by Pablo Garrone, and yeah, it's very beautiful, but obviously the part that stole the show was her nails. Alia Bhatt looked stunning last night. I believe they were pearls like that were on her bodice, and it was all white, and it was just so gorgeous. The shape kind of reminded me of Dua Lipa's dress, but this is obviously different. This look was also designed by Pablo Garrone, and while it is kind of simple, I think it's very elegant. I actually didn't see Olivia Rodrigo walk the red carpet, but I saw her pictures afterwards, and her dress looks so beautiful. I remember last year I wanted her to do a little something extra with her hair, and she did. She's got micro bangs. She was seen going to an after party though, and she does not actually have micro bangs, so I'm pretty sure these are just clip-ons, but again, I'm okay with that. It's cute. It's different. She was wearing Tom Brown, and I feel like the silhouette of the dress was a little bit more different than we're used to seeing from her because the top was so big. I feel like this is a unique take on black and white because they're so mixed together. Overall, I'm really impressed with her this year. I remember that I was not that impressed with Daisy Edgar-Jones last year, but she made up for this year. She wore a two-piece designed by Gucci, and while I do think it is pretty simple, I think it's really stunning. It fits her style, but also the theme, and it looks beautiful without being too simple. The top of her dress is like just plain black with silver like outlining, and then as you get to the bottom of the skirt, it gets a little bit more sparkly, which obviously was a theme last night. Ashley Graham's dress was designed by Harris Reed, and I really like the silhouette of this one. It's like one of the most dramatic silhouettes of the night. I do like her hair. Again, she tried something new, which I appreciate, and I do like the pink and black together. I think it's very nice. I really like the way that everything is structured so perfectly, like the bottom and the sleeves and the back. Like everything looks so perfect. She almost looks like a statue when she's posing for photos. And I'm just a sucker for this pink color, so yeah, I really liked it. And then the last look of the night that I'll be discussing is Madelyn Cline in Stella McCartney. I don't think she took a huge risk, which is fine. Her dress is just black, and then the middle of it has silver fringe, and then she has matching silver fringe earrings, and her hair is just slicked back. It kind of reminds me of a flapper, but I really do like it. And she seemed like she's having fun on the red carpet, so I guess that's all that matters. Overall thoughts, I really didn't expect there to be so many bows. Like, I feel like almost every other look had a bow in it, which again is fine. I just really wasn't expecting it. I think there was a lot of black and white. I feel like with other themes, there's more freedom to choose colors, so I do understand why people stuck with the basics for this one. And this year, everyone followed the theme much more successfully, I think, which maybe is because it was an easier theme to understand, and a lot of these people actually knew the designer themselves. I don't really know if I have a favorite look or one that really stands out to me. I'd probably say top 3 favorite are Dua Lipa. I really liked hers. I think Doja Cat was really interesting and while also being glamorous. Alia Bhatt I think was really nice. And then maybe Olivia Rodrigo too. That's 4, but I feel like those are probably my top favorite looks. I just really hope that next year there's more risks and maybe more creativity. I feel like with a lot of these celebs, last year was not their year. So maybe that's why they were being a little more cautious this year. But also a lot of celebrities didn't even show up to this Met. So fingers crossed that next year we have everyone in attendance. Feel free to share your favorite looks in the comments because I would love to hear them. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, I'd appreciate if you gave it a like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next week.